Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. This episode we're to be studying a piece by the established digital illustrator known as Rei Sotta. This episode we're to be talking about the impact of texture, implied motion, and we're also going to talk about the ethereal sides of shooting stars. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, we're met with a streak of blue light here, really in the upper region of the composition. It catches our eye instantly, right? The viewer's first impression is likely one of awe or maybe curiosity to the shocking or even curious sight before us here. So of course, you see the placement of our subject against the night sky is the perfect backing, right? We have that stunning light on dark accent against the night sky, a flurry of stars as well. You cannot forget that. And with that in mind, you see these endless layers to the work at hand, right? We see this horizon here, and then of course more and more layers behind that, and then so many layers of our main subject there. So really catches the eye instantly, and of course creates a very dynamic composition, a very dynamic visual experience. What you may also notice, of course, the main set here is going to be the color blue, and upon this blue foundation we see what appears to be a purplish pink, maybe even some reddish tones there as well. Initially I called this an analogous scheme, but it looks more complementary with those tones of red. Red of course strikes really well against blue. They kind of contrast each other and fight for attention, so of course the eye is going to be drawn towards that red, no doubt. You'll also notice is the impact of texture within the work at hand here. So textures can be seen everywhere from this kind of funnel or vortex, if you will, all the way to these endless stars that make up the greater composition of this night sky here. It's absolutely stunning. And so, it's hard to say exactly what we're looking at here. It could be a rocket or it could be a shooting star. For this video, I'm going to investigate the idea of a shooting star. We're going to look at that real quick. So with this in mind, what do y'all see when you view this piece? What exactly do you think we're looking at? But regardless of what we're looking at here, whether it's a shooting star or a rocket, there's no doubt that there's a sense of magic within the work at hand, right? You have this flurry of stars, of course, we mentioned that, but so many different colors and textures, and of course, that iridescent or ascendant light there. It always catches the eye and gives that charm, that sense of magic within the work at hand as well. What you may also notice is a sense of scale within the work here. If this is a horizon of trees in the distance that we're looking at, this would be a very large scene in the night sky there. So just how large this composition is and the scale of that's going to really dwarf us and gives this really unique feeling that creates the visual experience before us here. It's sacred in so many different ways, and you really cannot forget that when you're looking at this work. So with this in mind, of course, ethereal, very ethereal or ethereal. I used to say ethereal. Ethereal sights, there are no doubt about that. It really catches the eye. It immerses us within that composition, and we wonder, what would it be like to look at this in real life, to see, say, a shooting star or something like a rocket take off. It always catches the eye, and it brings our attention and holds that with absolute ease, right? Scenes such as this are likely what inspired, early myth, early fantasy, and early scenes of spirituality. Of course, hundreds of thousands of years ago, when we were very early humans, kind of gathering around fire, maybe speaking in whatever language we believe we had. This no doubt is a sacred scene before us here. And so the medium of this work is going to be the digital illustration. So painstakingly painted upon that screen there, you see the brilliant result of that. We talked about that layer, we talked about that texture, and all of those go within the work at hand with something like digital illustration or digital painting. So I really hope y'all enjoyed the piece here. I know I did. Absolutely love studying this sense of dynamic motion, sense of texture, and of course the charm of the composition here. You can't miss it, and you can't forget it as well. If y'all enjoyed today, go check out the original artist Rei Sotta doing some amazing stuff, in the medium of digital illustration. A lot of dreamy magic or charming compositions similar to the one before us here. So if y'all enjoyed the piece today, go check out the original artist Rei Sotta. Like I said, always doing some amazing stuff in the medium of digital illustration. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.